Summer 2017. I've been super quiet on YouTube this year, this summer actually, and it kind of sucks. Really kind of sucks. I've been quiet with a lot of things. I'm out on a bike ride right now. Only been on a couple bike rides this summer, like 4 bike rides. Took 2.5 months off of running. So this is the real reason why I've been off of YouTube. So 2.5 months off of running, 2.5 months off of cycling. Been working like crazy. That's the situation. My business keeps growing and growing, and it's harder to find qualified staff to actually help me run my business. So I had 3 people leave the kitchen this summer. One was my chef who'd been with me for 3 years, and he went on to do his own thing. Good luck to him. All the best in the future. It's time for people to move on. I understand that. You know, you got to keep growing in your career and in every aspect of your life. And career is super important. As a young chef like him, I was always interested in advancing. So good luck to him. He's opening a place about 10 miles away, maybe a little farther. Had another person who we weren't upset that he left. He left on a whim. Didn't come in one night and quit, which is perfectly fine. You know, it's hard finding the right people for the organization. It's super hard. You know, you get people that are cranky, that are nasty, that are miserable. The staff doesn't want to work with them. Those people are not good for the organization no matter how good they are. And so it was one of those situations. Fantastic cook, just not good for the team. Not a favorable team player. Attitude, outlook, things like that. Had another person who was with me for 2 years who came right out of high school, went to culinary school, graduated, and I thought he was staying all summer. He told me he was staying until the middle of October. Asked for an astronomical raise. I met him most of the way, wanted to give him more responsibilities came with it, and then he ended up leaving, giving his 2 weeks notice and leaving as well. So I've been like at base 0 with my kitchen staff. I have one guy who's actually been with me since for 12 years, Wally. Wally's fantastic. My front of the house staff, I have people out there that have been with me 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. We have a lot of longevity in our organization, a lot of longevity. And people come back to work for us because they like the culture, they like the organization. You know, but when it comes as far as to the kitchen staff, you know, it is hard to find people that have high standards, cooks that have high standards. And I'm a very, I don't want to say very demanding, but I expect, I'm reading the Elon Musk book right now. Elon, I think it's just called Elon Musk. You know, and the author talks about him being hard on his staff. And I can see, I'm hard on my staff if you're not respecting my guests. If you're putting crap food up, I'll look at you and say, my guests don't deserve this. If you were sitting down right now and paying 11 bucks for this dish, what would you do? Put yourself in the guest's shoes. And I'll say it the first time, like, hey, that's not our quality, that's not what we do, this is how you do it. If you do it the second time, I'll look at you and say, hey, you're disrespecting me, flat out, you're disrespecting me. You're gonna make a customer who's upset, we're gonna get a bad review, we're gonna get a customer who's gonna go badmouth us, even if they don't do a bad review. You're taking money out of my pocket, but you still get paid. So when it comes to a situation like that, I look at them and say, don't disrespect me, don't disrespect my guests. I don't, and if you do it the 3rd time, the 4th time, then my intensity goes up with that. I'm there to teach, I'm all for people learning the process, and I'm totally patient with that. Except when people don't grasp the concept. Or I turn around, I hired a chef, a high-powered chef with 20 years experience, and trained him a day, 2 days on the line. I turn around the window and he's serving something that's burnt. And I looked at him, I said, look at this. He's like, oh, yeah, it's not enough. I said, not enough on the plate, look at it. It was our calamari dish. And I said, look at it, it's burnt. He said, oh, I didn't see that. I looked at him, I said, that's impossible. You have 20 years experience in the industry. You know what you're doing, or supposedly know what you're doing. You just put up something that was totally burnt. You wouldn't do that in your own restaurant. You wouldn't expect that. I said, so please fix it. I was very nice about it. But then all of a sudden I turn around again and it's like something else is going up in the window that's not. I'm looking at him and say, listen, stop disrespecting. Don't disrespect me and my guests. Don't come in here and ruin my business. I'm paying you. You still get paid. You still get a paycheck. I have to comp food. I have to deal with the ramifications. And there's a lot of chefs out there that just have they don't have high standards. They just don't have high standards. They want to get the food up, put it in the window. They don't care, just get it up. And then some cooks are like overly cautious, like really, really cautious. And it's really hard to find a mix of somebody who's quick, efficient, clean, totally clean. This guy, this high-powered chef that I hired, he put him on saute station after a couple of days, and total disaster. And so I said, move over. I got to, move over because I need to get the food out. I got to. And I spent 3-4 minutes just cleaning his station because he was working such a mess. And the first thing I did, the first thing I always do when I walk into the kitchen, at the window where you put food in, if that's a mess, first thing I do is say, hey guys, we got to get this window clean. The place has to be clean to put up fast, efficient food. So am I hard on my staff? I'm hard on people that need to be, that need that because they're not following standards. If you're following standards, and respecting my business, respecting my guests, I am the easiest boss. I'm totally 100% the easiest boss. And I've had many people that are like that over the years. I've had many people that have totally come back and work for me under those circumstances. So I've been, throughout this whole dilemma of me in my kitchen every single day. There's days I've been there 18 hours. There's days that I've gone home at night at 1 a.m. and left stuff in the oven because I knew I was coming back at 5, 6 in the morning and say, hey, this is going to keep going. The good thing through all this is, there's always like a silver lining in situations like this. The thing is, I've totally revamped my kitchen systems, my kitchen operations, where we get things out so efficiently now. Before, it used to take me so much manpower to put out, 100 covers, 50 dishes, 50 dinners. It would take, 3 people. Now I can do it in 2 people, me and somebody who I'm training who's not quite qualified, which is the good news, because I've gone in there and I've honed in. I've sort of tightened up the menu a little bit. I've tightened up the way things flow in the kitchen. I've tightened the way that we do prep. I've tightened the way we do backups. Backups are, when I'm out of peppers, where's my backup of red peppers? Where's my backup of salmon? Where's my backup of polenta? I've totally revamped that whole system so everything's right there ready to rock and roll. So once I get somebody who's really qualified in there, it's a 2-man show for what used to be a 3.5-man show. That's as good as my daughter's been in the kitchen with me a couple days this summer. And my daughter's been in the restaurant industry. She's 17. She's been around it her whole life, obviously. We've been open 14 years. So, she's much more talented than the average 17-year-old when it comes to waiting tables, understanding wine. We took her to Italy for her 16th birthday, and we did the whole vineyard tour, which was really cool. Jumped into the whole culture of Italy, much different than the U.S. And so she jumped in a couple Saturdays with me, and her and I basically did all of the dinners. And she's qualified, but she's not a qualified chef. But she was able to follow the systems and follow the procedures because she's diligent and she pays attention to details and she's quick. So her and I were able to rock out 100, 150 covers by ourselves. My wife, who's been on and off in the kitchen with me over the years, not a trained chef. She went to school to teach. But when you work in the restaurant business that long, you learn to do things. You learn to jump in and fill in all different types of positions. So my wife was in with me. There were days where she was in there with me 4 or 5 days in a row. And again, the good news is her and I are able to look at things and say, wow, why was the staff doing this when that's just not the right way to do it? So let's change the system. So the good news is, once I get somebody in there who's qualified, we're going to have less manpower. It's going to be more profitable. And the guest is going to be the one who benefits because they're going to get their food faster. I bought a sous vide cooker. If you don't know what sous vide is, SOUS/VIDE, sous vide. It's a French term. We actually bought 2 commercial sous vide cookers this year, which really help us get food out much quicker, higher quality, moister food. It's just amazing what you can do in these sous vide cookers, and I've been shied away from these for years because they're expensive. So I'm out bike riding right now. There's a lot of things I want to convey on YouTube. There's a lot of videos, a lot of topics, so I will be back. Just please be patient with me. Somebody made a comment like, oh, Marcus, you bailed on YouTube because the earnings went down. And it's true, earnings did go down on YouTube a lot, drastically. But I find my earnings are steadily going back up, even though I'm not making content. So maybe YouTube's changing their advertising algorithm, their advertising payout. Hopefully that's the case, because a lot of people did stop YouTube because there wasn't that much money in it anymore. I mean, I went from, making a couple $1,000s a month to just a few $100s a month. And that was when I was making videos every day. But now my earnings are going back up, which is really nice. And I take all that money on YouTube. So I wanted to do, one of the YouTube videos that I wanted to make was how how much money have I made on YouTube with 50,000 subscribers? I'm like 53,000 subscribers now. At that 50,000 mark, I snapshotted my profile. 50,000 subscribers, big milestone. How much have I made? You know, it's one of the videos I wanted to do with that. And you know, I think without running a report, I probably made about $75,000, $85,000 from 50,000 subscribers on YouTube. And that's over the course of 6, 7 years. But only 2 to 3 years of that was I really a serious YouTuber. The other times I would just throw videos on randomly. But once I started doing videos once a day, that's when everything changed. That's when I went from 1,000 subscribers to 20,000 subscribers within a matter of 12 months. A video a day made a huge, huge, huge difference. And not all my videos are viewed. I look at some of my videos that are fantastic content. I'm like, man, I have 300 views in this. Look at some of my other videos that have fantastic content, and it's like, wow, there's 50,000 views, 250,000 views. I have some videos that have over 1 million views each. So you just never know what topic's gonna stick. And you know, so if any of the YouTubers are out there and they're starting up, don't get frustrated. This is the long haul. I started in 2009. I wasn't really seeing a paycheck until 2014. That's 5 years in. But again, I wasn't serious until 5 years in. If you got a good topic, or if you just like talking, and the new thing is you don't really need to be an expert. The new thing is documenting your life. Like I wish I could have I probably did have time this summer to document all my troubles and transitions through the kitchen, and it probably would have been very interesting for the people to experience, especially young chefs, culinary students, to experience the pitfalls or the stumbling blocks or just how hard of work it is to own and operate a restaurant, and see my struggles every day. Like, hey, it's 1 a.m., I'm going home, I'm leaving stuff in the oven, I'll be back at 5 a.m. Hey, we have 2 weddings this weekend. I have 2 people that didn't show up this weekend. I have one of my staff members is not working this week because he's in jail. I have no, you know, all that stuff would have probably been really cool for people to watch me go through all this pain and suffering, and then all of a sudden see like, hey, here's the end of the rainbow, here's the end of the road, and here's the beginning of a new chapter, and the kitchen's now running smooth, and we're getting new staff in, and we're training staff. I mean, I have 2, 3 new people in the kitchen. I don't know if they're all going to make it, but I've got some promising talent in the kitchen right now, and I have more people that actually want to work for us, which is really good news. I have somebody who's really qualified that wants to come back and work for us, who hasn't been with us for a number of years. So I'm just in the negotiating stages with him, and that would probably make my life a lot simpler. And I'm at the point right now where if you take my headaches away in the kitchen, I'm willing to pay you. Just take my headaches away. I want to go back to being able to go to my kids' sports. I want to be able to go talking to every guest, going to every table, selling wine, talking about our mission at the restaurant. I mean, a lot of our staff is very qualified about, you know, the ingredients we use, where our salt comes from, all this kind of stuff. But I'm the person who really knows that all in depth, and I'm the person that can convey that message the best. So I'm best really out in front of people, and you know, I'll wear the chef coat, I'll jump in on the line, I'll bail them out, and then I'll head back out into the dining room and say, hey, and talk to the guests and find out how the experience is and really upsell other things. But again, my business is growing. My business has really grown. The biggest growth factor this year in my business is we've closed an extra day this year. So we're closed on Wednesdays. We've never done closed like the whole year on Wednesdays. We've been closed a while now on Wednesdays, and my sales are up, which is fantastic, because it just means I'm not working that hard 7 days a week to try to make the same amount of money. I'm working less hours, less days, and like yesterday we took a staff beach day, took the Romatime van and took it down to the beach. A bunch of our staff, we piled 12 people into the van. You know, we never could have done that before because we were open 7 days. So the staff is loving it. I get better production out of the front of the house staff, and my sales are up. So that's a fantastic thing. So check out more YouTube videos. There's gonna be a lot more coming up. I just don't know when, I can't promise, but I'm out on a bike ride. And you know, when I go out and run, I haven't ran for 2.5 months. I started running 2 weeks ago, clocked 42 miles, hurt my foot a week and a half into it, so now I'm on the bike. The nice thing is when I'm out and about on the bike or I'm running, that's when my mind gets creative, and then man, it's like, so I just had to stop and pull over and make this YouTube video and just let everybody know that I will be back. I will definitely be back, and time to get to work.